morning, everyone. This is Bob Iacchino along with Mike Arnold. It is June 21st. We are from Path Trading Partners, and this is an AM Path Chat covering the FX markets. A little bit of overnight news, a little bit of a Saudi shakeup in the royal family. Mohammed bin Salman replaced his cousin as the next in line to the country's throne. This consolidates the 31-year-old's power that's been growing for quite a while now. King Salman, who's 81 years old, also reinstated all allowances and bonuses that had been canceled or suspended to civil servants and military. The Saudis seem to be spending that higher fuel price that didn't really materialize and still hasn't materialized. Crude oil still lower, working on its fifth down week, although it is up 0.5% on the day. Queen Elizabeth is going to read out Prime Minister Theresa May's legislative agenda for the next 2 years today. Then it gets to be voted or debated and voted on Parliament. We don't think that'll go through. Bank of Japan's Kuroda, in a speech last night, said the BOJ's growing optimism on the economic outlook due to rising exports and higher factory outputs is good, but because the price trend of inflation remains weak, it's appropriate to stick with the current easing framework. Overnight, MSCI Asia Pacific dropped 0.4%. Shanghai fluctuated between gains and losses, and the Euro Stoxx 600 was 0.7% lower, so 0.7% lower. Travis Kalanick from Uber resigned. That's about it in the overnight news. In terms of the economic calendar, Japanese supermarket sales year over year down 1.8%. Dollar yen is up 0.6% as I record this. UK public finances yesterday for May, 13.4 billion versus an expectation of minus 15.2 billion pounds. And we are waiting on Cushing crude oil inventories here in the US, WTI inventories. In the API inventories last night, they showed a draw of 2.72 million barrels versus an expectation of 2.106 million barrels. And gasoline inventories rose again, 346,000 barrels versus an estimate of 465. So a little bit of a bullish number. Again, crude oil is up slightly. That's about it. Running a little late today, so let me turn it over to Mike to let you know what he's seeing in the charts. Mike, it's all yours.
Thank you very much, Bob. Euro US dollar inside day so far. We did get a close yesterday below the defining point, but not into a clear path, so there's no trend line trade there. On a continued rally higher, first key levels we're going to be watching 111.64, and then we have a fair amount of resistance coming in at 111.70 to 111.81. That's a very key resistance zone, kissing the trend line goodbye, first cross rotation zone, and 25% GAN level. That's what we'll be watching for on the upside. If it does get through that, 112.05 is the next key area to the upside. If we pull back, 111.24 is going to be the next first level. Then we have 111.14, this zone right in here. If we do get below that, we're going to be watching for a potential move down to the 110.80 to 84 area. Switching over to the pound US dollar. Pound US dollar, pretty big sell-off yesterday. And now a rebound today, went down to our projection gain level 125.90 and has moved back up right now just above our trend line that we broke yesterday. Had some resistance at the 50% gain level 127.06. Continued rally, major resistance coming in at 127.26. We have a key level and a declining 8. Then if we get through that, next major level we'll be watching for is 126.26. If we pull back, first level of support is going to come in right around the 126.66. Then we'll be watching for the 126.35 level. Then if we get below that, we'll be watching for the 126.12, and then the retest of today's low is 125.90. Switching over to the US dollar, Japanese yen. So far trade lower today to kiss the trend line goodbye. We have a rising 8 coming in, slightly sloping up 50. This is a very key support zone now, about 111.14 to 111.03, very, very key. If we did go back down and get through it, we'd be watching for 110.92 to 110.86 as the next layers of support. So far, we're rallying up today. First level of resistance is going to be this first significant level coming in at 111.63. Then we have 111.79, which is another significant level, and yesterday's highs. If we do get through that, we're into this clear path, so we could see a nice price run higher. However, the first level of additional resistance is going to come in at 112.12, which is a potential decent target for any upside long trades. US dollar Swiss, also inside day, caught in this range for the last few days, came down just slightly above the first cross rotation zone and our significant level. So if we do go back down, watch for this 97.29 area is very key. If we get below that, we're going to be watching for about 97.14 and then the 96.94 level. On a rally higher, significant resistance coming in at 97.54. Then we'll be watching for a retest of our defining point coming at 97.70. Then if we get through that, the 97.85 level is going to be very key. Aussie US dollar, so far we're below our upsloping trend line, but going against the rotation zone. If we do close below this trend line, we are expecting a move into a single candle clear path, which then would have a first target of 75.44 and a second target at the lower end of the rotation zone about 75.36 to 39. So those are the levels we'll be watching for to the downside. If we do rally up, 75.69 first level of resistance, then we'll be watching for 75.80. Then if we get through all that, we'll watch for a retest of the significant level coming in at 75.93. US dollar, Canadian dollar. Nice little multi-day rally to poke back into the declining rotation zone. Went up, found some resistance right around this 132.97, 133 level. So on a continued rally, the 133 level to 133.05 is going to be first key resistance. If we get through that, 133.31, then we'll watch for a return to the 133.52 level. If we turn around and head back down lower, support coming in at 132.58. Then we'll be watching for the 132.24 and then the 132.11 areas. Finally, over to US dollar Mexican peso. Nice multi-day rally coming up to the other end of the rotation zone, which we talked about yesterday. Finding some key resistance there, 18.24.37. Poking through that today, up to 18.27.74, but then moving back down. Trading right now just above first key support, 18.12.83. If we get through that, we'll be watching for 18.09.12 and then a cluster coming in at 18.07.21. If we break through that, 18.01.29. Those are the key levels we are going to be watching for. We're turning it back over to you, Bob. Thank you very much.
Thank you for that, Mike, and thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you like what we're doing, and we will talk to you in the next Path Chat. Cheers, everyone.